ఏపీ ఆర్థిక పరిస్థితిపై టీడీపీ ఎంపీ లావు శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు లోక్సభలో ప్రస్తావించారు. ఇటీవల ముఖ్యమంత్రి చంద్రబాబు విడుదల చేసిన ఏపీ ఆర్థిక శాఖ శ్వేతపత్రాన్ని పార్లమెంటులో ఎంపీలందరికీ ఇస్తామని వెల్లడించారు. ఆర్థిక బిల్లుపై చర్చ సందర్భంగా లావు శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు లోక్సభలో మాట్లాడుతూ ఈ విషయం తెలిపారు. బిల్లుపై చర్చ సందర్భంగా ఏపీ ఆర్థిక పరిస్థితిని ఆయన లోక్సభ దృష్టికి తీసుకెళ్లారు. రాష్ట్రం అన్ని రంగాల్లో వెనుకబడిందని చెప్పడానికి దిగజారిన వృద్ధి రేటే నిదర్శనం. మరోవైపు రాష్ట్ర ద్రవ్యోల్బణం 4.5% నుంచి 6% మించిపోయింది. రాష్ట్ర ఆర్థిక పరిస్థితిని దృష్టిలో ఉంచుకుని కేంద్రం ప్రత్యేక శ్రద్ధ చూపించాలి. రెవెన్యూ లోటు, అప్పుల భారం నుంచి బయటపడేందుకు ఏపీకి చేయూతనివ్వాలి. దీర్ఘకాలిక మూలధన లాభాలపై పన్ను విషయంలో కేంద్ర పునరాలోచన చేయాలి. ఆరోగ్య బీమా పాలసీలపై 18% జీఎస్టీని పూర్తిగా తొలగించాలి. జౌళి రంగాన్ని ఆదుకునేందుకు పత్తి దిగుమతులపై సుంకాలు తగ్గించాలి. గతంలో చెల్లించాల్సిన పన్నుల విధానాన్ని ఎత్తివేయాలి అని లావు శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు కేంద్రానికి విజ్ఞప్తి చేశారు. ఇటీవలే ఏపీ ప్రభుత్వం ఆర్థిక శాఖపై శ్వేతపత్రం తీసుకువచ్చింది. దాని ప్రతులను పార్లమెంటు సభ్యులందరికీ అందిస్తాం. ఏపీ వ్యయం 1.64 లక్షల కోట్లు రూపాయలు కాగా ఆదాయం 145 లక్షల కోట్లు రూపాయలు. ఈ ఏడాది 19,000 కోట్ల లోటు స్పష్టంగా ఉంది. రాష్ట్ర అప్పు 2019లో 3.75 లక్షల కోట్లు రూపాయలు ఉంటే అది 2024 నాటికి 9.74 లక్షల కోట్లకు పెరిగింది. గడిచిన 5 ఏళ్లలో వృద్ధి రేటు గణనీయంగా తగ్గిపోయింది. ఏపీలో వృద్ధి రేటు 13.5% నుంచి 10.5%కి పడిపోయింది. అదే సమయంలో రాష్ట్రంలో వ్యవసాయ రంగ వృద్ధి రేటు 16 నుంచి 10%కి దిగజారింది. ఇతర సభ్యులు చెప్పినట్టు ఏపీకి కేంద్రం ప్రత్యేక నిధులు ఏమీ ఇవ్వడం లేదని ఆయన స్పష్టం చేశారు. పూర్వోదయ పథకానికి 62 కోట్లు కేటాయించినట్టు తెలిపారు. తీర ప్రాంతంలో పెద్ద రాష్ట్రం గనుక ఏపీకి ఎక్కువ నిధులు రావాల్సి ఉందని అన్నారు. మార్పు కోసం మనం సైతం. మీ సురేష్ బాబు, ఎడిటర్ ఇన్ చీఫ్, మీడియా బజ్ తెలుగు న్యూస్ ఛానల్, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్.
माननीय सदस्य श्री लावू श्री कृष्णा जी.
Allow me to speak on the Finance Bill 2024. I can't speak on this before thanking the taxpayer who has been coming out in big number. The number has been increased from 6.7 crore to almost 7.28 crore this year. Even the earnings from the income tax has increased by almost 32%, ma'am. So this shows the confidence that the income taxpayer is having on the government, and importantly NDA. But ma'am, we have to keep in mind the process that has been implemented for the last 4 years. It's called faceless assessment that has been implemented. There are numerous issues that has been raised because of this. Of course, this is useful for a lot of taxpayers, but recently a lot of people are complaining that too many sections are being evoked. And for example, if someone is given 10 crores as a penalty for him to pay, if that person has to go for reassessment, he has to pay the 20% to actually go for this reassessment, ma'am. Because of this, taxpayers are actually feeling the brunt. So I wish and I hope the Finance Ministry will take this matter into the account so that we will make it easy for the taxpayers to actually come into the fold, ma'am. Also, there is a rise in the gross revenue by almost 14%, ma'am. And I also have to thank the Finance Ministry for reducing the corporate tax from 40% to 35%, ma'am. Also, we have made numerous representations to the Finance Minister regarding the angel tax that has been levied. And this is a boon, ma'am, for that Finance Ministry has removed this. And this will help startups to the whole ecosystem will develop in the next few years to come. But the one word that has to be removed from the district district of the Finance Ministry is with respect to the retrospective tax, which we keep hearing from time to time, ma'am. Yesterday also I was reading somewhere with regards to the mineral mineral development, mineral industry, which has come forward and saying that we cannot function, this industry can't function if you go for a retrospective tax. And a few years back also, there was on someone industry, there was another retrospective tax. I think the finance minister has to sit with them. Even the rice exporters also has come to me and said this retrospective tax has been implemented on us. So if you keep doing this just to earn some money from the businesses that are doing very well, this will not encourage the businesses to flourish, ma'am. So I think, and I hope the finance minister will take this into account and take this retrospective tax out of the dictionary, ma'am. And coming to the capex expenditure, there's been almost 17% increase, and this government has been doing it for the last 5-6 years, that the capex has been the main go-to area where the development in the country is been happening, and every year this capex expenditure has been increasing, and this year almost it's 11,000 crores has been put in place for the capital expenditure, ma'am. But the problem is, the last year, out of 10 lakhs that had been earmarked for the capital expenditure, only 9.48 lakhs has been spent, ma'am. So almost 52,000 crores was not even spent on the capital expenditure. So I request the finance ministry to actually look into it. Having the capital expenditure of 11 lakhs or 11.5 lakhs is one thing, but actually spending it on the ground is a different thing. So I hope the finance ministry will look into it. And the second point being, ma'am, with respect to a lot of members have raised this point with regards to the reduction of long-term capital gain tax from 20% to 12%, ma'am. And they also mentioned about the indexation. A lot of members have been mentioned about this, ma'am. And there's a lot of talk also outside. So I hope and I expect the finance minister to look into it, so that because this is hard taxpayers' money, ma'am. Also, middle class people are being affected on this, ma'am. So I think there should be a relook at this indexation, so that middle class people, because they think real estate is one thing that they can safely invest in. So we feel it should be protected. I hope the finance minister will listen to this, ma'am. Also, coming to the third point, my colleague Mauma Mohitra has mentioned very clear, very agitatedly that I don't know where the funds are coming from Andhra Pradesh, because she didn't see anything, any special allocation that was made. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it has been mentioned in Department of Economic Affairs, wherein 62,000 crores has been earmarked for this. For the entire amount has been earmarked for capital expenditure, as also for the new schemes that have been announced, ma'am. So I hope and I wish this Purvodaya scheme, which has been announced for Andhra Pradesh and all the other eastern states that my colleague has mentioned, I hope this 62,000 crores will be given to us, and majority will be given to Andhra Pradesh, ma'am. And coming to the point number 4, ma'am, with regards to the clauses, which are clauses from 88 to 99, which deal with the Vivad Se Vishwas. This has been a scheme which has been in effect for the last 4 years. This is used by a lot of taxpayers as well as a lot of industry people also, ma'am. This has been a successful scheme. But the problem right now that we should revisit is, I've been reading that clauses, ma'am, but nowhere in those clauses there's no mention of timelines has been mentioned. Because I'm looking for them, because almost 5.4 lakh income tax appeals are pending at the commissionerate level, ma'am. We can only address this when we have a timeline defined in those clauses. I hope finance ministry will look into it and try to address this issue, ma'am. And also, coming to the point number 5, ma'am, with regards to the healthcare, we have done amazingly well in the last 10 years or so. Numerous medical colleges, AIMS has been developed, and also number of postgraduate seats has been increased. But we should, but there's a 18% GST on health insurance policy. Ma'am, if you look at the percentage of people having life insurance, there's 75% of them are having life insurance. Only 25% of them is having health or medical insurance. There is uneven numbers that are here, ma'am. It should be the opposite way. More people should have the health insurance or medical insurance, and less people to have the life insurance policy, or equally at least. But somehow it is skewed in one direction. It can be addressed only if this GST can be reduced, so that more people can have access to the medical insurance and health insurance, ma'am. Also, coming to the point number 6, ma'am, with regards to the agriculture. Agriculture, yes, we have come up with numerous schemes from the central government. There's a definite drive from the central government to improve the conditions of the farmers and double the farmers' income. But we need to review the 20% GST, 12% GST on the agricultural equipment, 18% GST on the tractors and machines for processing and milling, and 15% GST on pesticides. I think instead of having these many numbers of percentages and these many brackets of GST numbers, I hope and I wish Finance Minister will come with a lesser number, like how they have it 5% for fertilizers. I hope all the others also will come into the same bracket so that the farmers will get benefited, ma'am. Also coming to the textile industry, which is one of the backbone of my district, ma'am. There are a lot of textile parks are there, a lot of textile industry is there, a lot of yarns are there. But the problem that they have, and the finance ministry, we request you to look at it, is with regards to the 11% import duty which is levied on the cotton that is imported, ma'am. Yes, we have to protect the farmers. And the Cotton Corporation for India is buying the cotton from the farmers at a good price. Yes, we appreciate that. But at the same time, protecting the farmers is one thing, but protecting the industry is also is our duty. The only way we can protect the industry is actually giving them enough raw material so that they can produce good quality products and be competent when they export it to the other countries. They have to compete with countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam. They can only be competent when these raw material that is needed for these cotton mills are provided at a reasonable price, not by the government, but I'm saying if the import duty of 11% is decreased, they'll become much more competitive, ma'am. Coming to the handlooms, again, it's a huge employment generator, ma'am, across the country. And also we take pride in the handlooms for so many centuries, ma'am. And Prime Minister keeps on talking about handlooms and handicrafts every year, ma'am. But there is also a growth of 5 to 7% in the last 5 years with regards to the handlooms, ma'am. But the problem is with regards to the National Handloom Development Program, the estimates as well as revised estimates every year has been decreasing, ma'am. In 2021-22, it's 485. It has reduced to 200 crores. The estimates have reduced to 200 crores from 485 crores. And revised estimates from 2021, 344 crores, it has reduced to 156 crores in 2023. So I think I wish that handlooms is one of the backbone of our country. We pride about it, handlooms and handicrafts. So I wish the finance minister will look into it. Ma'am, less than 2 minutes, ma'am, because I am the only speaker for my party. We have enough time, ma'am. And also coming to the SEZs in the textile industry, ma'am. There's a friend of mine, Mr. C.M. Ramesh. In his constituency, there is a company called Brandix, which employs almost 30,000 women, ma'am, in this industry. And there's exports that happen at a breathtaking pace from this industry, ma'am. But the problem is from this SEZ. But the problem is when they are manufacturing them and they're much more quality oriented, when they're exporting to the other countries, there is no provision for them. They are ready to pay the tax to sell in India, but there's no provision for them to sell in India, ma'am. If iPhone can be manufactured by Foxconn in India, and it can be exported as well as it can be sold in India, why can't this be so? They have the same provision. So I request the ministry to look into this, ma'am. And coming to the aquaculture, this is one of the major industry in Andhra Pradesh. Almost 70% of the aqua exports happen from Andhra Pradesh, ma'am. There's so many new schemes that have been implemented in this. There's so much push and nudging that has been given to the aqua farmers as well as processors. Aqua processors have been doing very well, and MOFP is doing amazing, coming up with new schemes, and also the PLS scheme that has been come up. The aqua processors have used it to the larger extent. So, as a country, aqua processing capacity is very high, but the problem is with regards to the farmers that are able to do the production. That is very low, ma'am. But to address that, there's a scheme called Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampad Yojana. But the problem is the budgeted estimate was 2,000 crores in 23-24, but the revised was 1,500 crores. So, and most of this, what have been the 1,500 crores that have been actually revised estimates, even those has been gone to the government. Government has taken them and spent them on fishing harbors and other things. But the problem that the ministry has to understand is 90% of it, production, processing, is done by the private players. Government has not much role in doing in the whole equation of this. But somehow the government is accessing all these funds. So I hope the scheme will be rephrased or reworked in such a way that private players can who are in the process of exporting and who is in the process of production of aquaculture can use this PM Matsya Sampad Yojana. So I hope our ministry will look into it. So coming to the last point, ma'am, and there is a white paper that has been released in Andhra Pradesh, ma'am, with regards to the Andhra Pradesh financial situation, ma'am. It is, I'm sure we will print it out and we will distribute it to all the members in this house as well in the Rajya Sabha. So I hope you will go through it, and I hope you understand the financial position of Andhra Pradesh. I'll just briefly put it on record. What is the financial position, ma'am? Just give me 1 minute, ma'am. The expenses as of this year is 1.64 lakh crores, ma'am. The revenues is 1.45 lakh crores. That means we are deficit by almost 19,000 crores this financial year, ma'am. State debt has increased from 3.75 lakh crores, which was in 2019, to almost 9.74 lakhs in 2024. Growth rate has decreased from 13.5% to 10.5% now, ma'am. And also agriculture sector has gone down from 16% to 10% now, ma'am. And also the capex expenditure, which was 60,000 crores from 2014 to 2019, the white paper is saying, ma'am, it has gone down to 24,000 crores in 2019 to 2024. Last half a minute, ma'am, I'll wind it up. So there's a decrease of capex, and there is a decrease of sectoral growth in agriculture as well as any other sector. You will look at it, industrial sector. There's a decrease in the sectoral growth also, ma'am. And the per capita debt has been almost doubled from 74,000 rupees per head to almost 1,44,000 in Andhra Pradesh, ma'am. The inflation has also been risen from 4.5% to 6.2%, ma'am. So all in all, on one side, we are having a huge debt, and we have revenue deficit every year. On the other side, we are not, whatever we have borrowed, ma'am, last 20 seconds, ma'am. We are not, whatever we borrowed in the last 5 years or so, we are not infused into the capital expenditure, ma'am. This has brought the state to our knees, ma'am. We are ready to actually work with the central government. We are ready to actually again stand up, and we are.
మార్పు కోసం మనం సైతం మీ సురేష్ బాబు, ఎడిటర్ ఇన్ చీఫ్, మీడియా బజ్ తెలుగు న్యూస్ ఛానల్, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్.